Says it's going to be in Canada, right? Now, this is the thing.
Y'all, things are heating up in the six. Drake, the self-proclaimed king of Toronto, might not be feeling the love from his own city anymore. Why? Because Kendrick Lamar just announced not one, but 2 back-to-back shows in Toronto as part of his grand national tour. And if you're thinking that sounds a little too intentional, well, you're not alone. Let's get into why this move has fans saying Drake's hometown might just be turning its back on him. Here's the tea. Kendrick Lamar and SZA just announced extra dates for their grand national tour. And guess where they're making a major stop? Toronto. Kendrick is hitting the Rogers Center for back-to-back shows on June 12th and 13th, 2025. Let me remind y'all, this is Drake's hometown. Like, the same Drake who's made Toronto a part of his identity, his music, and his brand. It's giving, how dare y'all let this happen? And if we're keeping it real, this feels like a direct diss. K-Dot could have chosen anywhere to add extra dates, but 2 shows in Toronto? Oh, he knew exactly what he was doing. The fact that the city even allowed this to happen has fans questioning. Is the Six turning its back on Drake? Let's not pretend Kendrick and Drake are besties. These two have had a not-so-subtle rivalry brewing for years. From Kendrick's infamous verse on Control to the subliminals in their lyrics, they've been throwing shots for a minute now. And while Drake's been doing his thing internationally, Kendrick announcing 2 sold-out shows in Drake's backyard, that's king behavior. It gets worse. Kendrick performing at the 2025 Super Bowl halftime show just days before his Toronto takeover? Yeah, it's a flex. Meanwhile, Drake's stuck headlining a tour in Australia and New Zealand. Fans are already calling this a power play, with one saying, Kendrick's about to show Toronto what a real king looks like. Ouch.
Just learning this morning, Kendrick Lamar will be headlining the 2025 Super Bowl halftime show. While this will be the rapper's first time headlining on the NFL's biggest stage, he did perform as a special guest at the 2022.
Now, this is where it gets messy. Drake's hometown has always been his sanctuary. He's put Toronto on the map, repping it in his songs, music videos, and even his brand. But with the city rolling out the red carpet for K-Dot, it's feeling less like support and more like shade. Some fans are speculating that this could be Toronto's way of signaling they're ready to move on from Drake's reign. Like, let's not forget the backlash Drake's faced lately. Everything from fans calling out his music for being repetitive to allegations of beef with other artists. And now Kendrick, of all people, stepping in. It's like Toronto saying, we're ready for something new. To make this even juicier, let's talk about what went down with Rick Ross earlier this year. Rose had his own drama in Canada after performing in Vancouver, where he and his crew were reportedly attacked by a mob. The reason? His beef with Drake. Fans at the time didn't hold back in showing their loyalty to the Six's biggest star. But here's the thing. If Toronto was willing to ride that hard for Drake just months ago, why are they now welcoming Kendrick with open arms? It's the switch up for me. Some fans are calling it betrayal, while others are saying Drake's influence is just not hitting the same anymore. Drake isn't just feeling the heat from Kendrick's Toronto takeover. Now he's being called a sore loser by some fans. Why? Because he reportedly filed a lawsuit against Universal Music Group, claiming they inflated the streams for Kendrick's diss track aimed at him. Yeah, you heard that right. Drake is accusing UMG of artificially boosting Kendrick's numbers to make him look bad.
We was on vacation all last week, so I didn't get the opportunity to properly give Drake the credit he deserves for being stupid. But if you haven't heard, last week, Frozen Moments LLC, a company managed by Drake, filed a petition in the New York.
But here's the kicker. This move has backfired big time. Instead of gaining sympathy, fans are calling out Drake for being petty. Many are saying he's losing his composure over something he should have just ignored. The backlash is real, with some fans pointing out how this kind of behavior isn't a good look for someone who's supposed to be the champagne poppy of the rap game. So, what do you think? Is Kendrick's Toronto takeover just business as usual, or is this a calculated move to dethrone Drake in his own city? Don't forget to hit that like button and check out the next video on the end screen for more juicy hip-hop revelations.
There's a real beef happening between Andrew Schultz and Kendrick Lamar, and the guy coming out on top will really surprise you. And we're here to break down all the juicy drama just for you.
Are you saying that Kendrick Lamar put it on wax that he is protecting black women from white comedians' jokes, but not the kidnapping, molestation, and of R. Kelly? And actually, in reality, he would take his own music off Spotify to protect R. Kelly?
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is gonna get good. So for some context, this all started a few weeks ago when Flagrant had the the co-hosts from the Shits and Gigs podcast on for an episode, and they eventually got into a conversation about dating women of different races. And if you know anything about Flagrant, it's a comedy podcast, so they're gonna make jokes.
What is the black girlfriend effect?
You don't know about
blow out the other culture.
Yeah, so you'll see a guy who's had a black girlfriend, all of a sudden he's got a buzz cut, like clean shape up.
I know exactly.
I like that.
They shave their hair because they start losing it. Because they're so stressed around this black girl complaining about shit all the time. That's why they gotta shave their hair.
Bro, white guys with black girlfriends,
They grow a beard because there's more cushion when they get slapped the out of
The group then jokingly referred to this phenomenon as the, quote, black girl effect.
I think the black girlfriend effect, it might be a protective instinct, bro.
You think?
Yeah. Do you guys, have you ever had black girlfriends?
Yeah.
Have you ever had white girls?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. What's your favorite? We love them all.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
We love them all.
Yeah. That means white.
Yo, who gives Now, this all seemed like a pretty funny and harmless exchange on a comedy podcast. But as we've seen in the past, the internet loves to come for a joke. And they came hard for both Flagrant and Shits and Gigs. So hard, in fact, that these British co-hosts took to their own podcast to issue an apology.
This past weekend, there's been a couple of clips going around from when we did a session on the Flagrant podcast while we were on our US tour. And there were a few jokes made that were incredibly inappropriate. One specifically pertaining to black women.
Yeah. God, I hate the internet sometimes. This is just such a ridiculous video on so many levels.
Making a joke, and we were laughing at it. And to give, first of all, before we get into specifics or anything like that, obviously there's just literally no excuse. There is no excuse.
Agreed.
And fight or flight is a real thing. Fight or flight is a real thing, and it's so not easy to say, but when you're in those situations, you look at it through a lens of bro, if it was me, I promise you I'll stand up, I'll kick them cameras down, I'll smack homeboy in the face, I'll say this, I'll do that. But when you're in there, you're in shock.
You're in shock, and all you want to do is move on.
Yeah.
Not only are they on here apologizing for having the natural reaction of laughing at a comedian, but they then go on to blame laughing as it being a fight or flight reaction. Yes, I get it. They were so scared in the moment that they had no choice but to laugh at this joke. Well, let's be real. In reality, you saw the negative press you were getting and got scared about the prospect of possibly losing sponsors. Zero integrity over there at the Shits and Gig podcast. But hey, at least they can still collect their money and make their viewers happy. Well, the guys on Flagrant saw this apology video and reacted to it on air in the only appropriate manner, by making fun of it.
I've been there. I know what that's like. When you're just having fun and laughing with the boys, and you're like, I just can't wait to move on from this. Don't you know that feeling when you experience the fight or flight and then you just laugh? Does that happen to you guys when your body is just being torn with the primal urge to either fight or flight, and instead you just go,
So at this point, you'd probably think this controversy would die out. Well, you would be wrong. Enter Kendrick Lamar. And he usually escalates these beefs by rapping about them. So when Kendrick released his new album, he seemed to reference this whole incident, specifically calling out, quote, white comedians talking about black women.
all right, let's see the exact line, okay? Don't let no white comedian talk about no black woman. That's law. Now, technically speaking, if we're going off of grammatic English, he's saying, I can talk about black women, and that is law.
Don't let no white comedian talk about no black
So
women.
he's basically saying all white comedians
Are only allowed to
talk about black
exclusively.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
It's a law.
Finally, he understands it.
Now, while he doesn't mention Schultz by name, I don't think there have been many other white comedians that this could be referring to. But who knows? Maybe there's some guy in Texas or Florida or California who Kendrick Lamar really dislikes, and this is all just one big coincidence. The best part about comedians, though, is that they deal with hecklers, haters, and trolls on a daily basis. No one is better at shutting people down and pointing out their hypocrisies. And that's exactly what Schultz did. Schultz first points out that while Kendrick seems to have a problem with this joke, he has no problem working with South Park, which has a long history of making similar jokes.
Now I understand why he's doing a comedy with the South Park creators.
that makes
Because
sense.
he appreciates white comedians that make fun of black people.
There you go.
And they've done that brilliantly for decades.
Yeah, that's true.
And he would never want to, break one of his own laws.
No, that's true.
I mean, didn't they have a character called Token on the South Park show?
Yeah, they do.
Which I'm sure Kendrick is a big fan of.
That's true.
He must be a big fan if
That's
he's
true.
going to do a comedy with them. I mean, we can look that up. Apparently, he has a comedy coming out.
He then gets into the real hypocrisy of Kendrick Lamar. While he's out there taking shots at Schultz for this joke, the Flagrant crew is quick to remind everyone how Kendrick adamantly stood up for R. Kelly during his legal troubles. He even threatened to have his music removed from Spotify if the music streamer didn't put R. Kelly's music back up.
Here's what you gotta understand about Kendrick. It's very important to him to protect black women. That's why he's never done a song with an abuser confirmed. He's never done a song with anybody that's suspected of abuse. He's never threatened to remove his music from Spotify because they removed R. Kelly's music, who for sure and held captive underage black women. Hold on. This is all very important to Kendrick.
The tongue-in-cheek way that the Flagrant crew goes about calling out Kendrick is absolutely hilarious.
just let me understand what's going on here, because I think that you're using sarcasm as a comedic device.
It is a comedic device.
But you're so smart right now that I don't know if you're serious or making a joke. Are you saying that Kendrick Lamar put it on wax that he is protecting black women from white comedians' jokes, but not the kidnapping, molestation, and of R. Kelly? And actually, in reality, he would take his own music off Spotify to protect R. Kelly? Yeah. Someone who's kidnapped? Yeah. Black women? Oof, children.
God, you can taste the hypocrisy all the way on the East Coast.
Are you saying that he's done songs with other men who have potentially put hands on black women?
Not potentially, confirmed.
Wait a minute, convicted?
Yeah, I don't know what you call Chris Brown, but yeah, whatever that is.
Not breezy!
This is just another reminder to rappers and really any other entertainers out there. If you don't want the smoke, don't come for comedians. Because they are experts at finding your weak points and will hit you with them as hard as they can. The funniest part about the whole response, though, is when Schultz says he would physically be able to handle the 5'6" Kendrick Lamar without a problem. He even goes on to say that if they were in jail together, Schultz would use him as a pillow.
He's a pillow.
Yeah.
Why are you going to jail yourself with this? No, but I could use him as a pillow. That's what I could do. I could be like, yo, put your thighs at the end of my bed. I'm going to rest my head on it while I go sleep. And there's nothing he could do about it.
Now, while of course there are these loyal Kendrick supporters out there, thankfully most on the internet have been taking Schultz's side in the beef and recognizing the hypocrisy behind Kendrick's recent lyrics.
Dear Aubrey, did you really think this was all about a shirt and some scripts? This was about diamonds in all caps. Time for some hard truths. And people were quick to put two and two together that Drake's dog's name is Diamond.
The Drake controversy has escalated dramatically with accusations surfacing from a mysterious online persona, Ebony Prince 2K4, alleging serious misconduct. Claims include Drake's involvement in inappropriate activities with underage girls and mistreatment of animals, specifically dogs. This has sparked a broader discussion about hidden issues within the music industry. The situation intensified when Kendrick Lamar's lyrics in Meet the Grams hinted at disturbing allegations against Drake, supported by supposed evidence like prescription medications and personal items depicted on album art. Speculation swirls around whether Kendrick or Kanye West might be behind the anonymous revelations, adding complexity to an already explosive narrative.
Cover art contains things that is from Drake's Pop's suitcase. So Drake's Pop's suitcase had these things in it. Don't know how he got a hold of it. Don't know how this happened to get in Kendrick's hand. But apparently Kendrick Lamar must have got a hold of Drake's dad's suitcase. So we're talking about Dennis Graham, which is Drake's pops. Wow. Wow. Remember all that talk about leaks in the camp?
Fast forward to May 11th, and boom, out of nowhere, this mysterious figure named Ebony Prince 2K24 pops up with a video on X. And what's in the video? Those same items we saw on the Meet the Grams cover, plus a sneaky shot of a copy of the Daily Eagle dated Wednesday, May 8th. Talk about unexpected. 1. King Kendrick Lamar is not a liar, and I am not a thief. 2. Drake and academics have until noon Monday, May 13th, 2024, to retract your claims of theft, or my attorney and I will exhaust every legal option available. The controversy surrounding Ebony Prince, nicknamed the Riddler, has sent social media into a frenzy with wild theories and accusations against Drake. Some speculate Ebony Prince could be Kendrick Lamar or Kanye West, using a burner account to expose Drake's alleged secrets. Ebony Prince escalated the drama by sharing supposed surveillance footage from Drake's visit to the Mark Hotel, implicating Drake in questionable activities. This sparked intense online speculation and accusations, including Drake's involvement in disturbing incidents with dogs, fueled further by leaked audio clips. Despite denials from figures like Christopher Alvarez, who was wrongly implicated, the internet remains abuzz with unverified claims and conjecture, drawing parallels to Kendrick Lamar's provocative allegations in his diss track, Meet the Grams. There's also this crazy Reddit thread where a user dropped a huge bombshell. They claimed that a model from Toronto told them that Drake has women doing some really degrading stuff with dog bowls. Yeah, you heard that right. Dog bowls. Wild, right? Here's what the thread said. I swear to God I am not making this up. About 4 or 5 years ago, a model him. If you check my comment history, I even said if Kendrick brought up Drake having sick tendencies, he was done for. The Drake controversy continues to evolve with new twists and allegations emerging. Recently, speculation has linked Drake's album title, For All the Dogs, to disturbing rumors involving women and actual dogs at parties. This theory gained traction alongside claims from a figure named E. Prince, who allegedly possesses incriminating footage of Drake at such events. Moreover, scrutiny isn't just on Drake. High-profile figures like Universal Music Group CEO Lucien Grange are also under the microscope, accused by Kanye West of exerting significant influence over Drake's career and personal life. Kanye West has been outspoken about these issues, accusing Drake of being financially and emotionally tied to Grange in what he describes as a rich baby daddy relationship. West's revelations suggest deeper entanglements in both the music industry and potentially broader financial dealings, hinting at connections that extend beyond music into other sectors, including banking. This ongoing saga has captivated social media, fueling intense speculation and discussion about the dynamics behind Drake's career and personal controversies.
Drake has a rich baby daddy named Lucien and Universal.
Wow.
He's like, man, my daddy got it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, my daddy controlled the spins. My daddy got the DSPs. My daddy. Drake has a rich baby daddy named Lucien.
All right, buckle up because things are about to get even juicier. In this explosive interview with Justin LeBoy, Kanye West took his beef with Drake to a whole new level, hinting at something way beyond your typical rap feud. Kanye's tone was a mix of mystery and absolute belief. He suggested there was more to their rift than meets the eye, almost like it had cosmic significance. In simple terms, Kanye implied that Drake's unwillingness to pack things up was akin to striking a deal with the devil, trading away his soul for their ongoing feud. Kanye also opened up about how his track Like That Remix came to be and what it was like in the studio. He described a strong sense of determination, a real team effort aimed at, as he put it, eliminating Drake. This wasn't just a burst of excitement, it was a focused, intense energy. The song's lyrics didn't hold back, with Kanye taking direct shots at both Drake and J. Cole. His delivery was just as powerful as his words, keeping us all hooked with every line. And when he mentioned Kendrick Lamar, it was clear that new alliances were forming in the middle of this rap feud, which we all know adds even more drama to the story. As the interview went on, Kanye West dropped even more bombshells. He casually brought up Diddy's past controversies with a few simple but sharp comments, hinting at those old assault allegations. This definitely added another layer to the ongoing drama. And let's be real, we all know that Diddy and Drake have had their own twisted moments. So, when Kanye spilled the tea about Drake and Luciana's freaky hookups, it wasn't all that shocking. It seems like the big names in the music industry always end up taking advantage of those below them. You can't send none of y'all Meek Mills, y'all Puffies, y'all Lil Boozies, none of these name. None of these people that have to listen to y'all, I never killed nobody. I'm the expletive that never killed nobody. But that means I can say whatever I want. The ongoing feud between Kanye West and Drake has been a roller coaster ride of drama, public spats, and strategic moves aimed at staying in the spotlight of the hip-hop world. Kanye's involvement in controversy stretches back to the days of the Drake versus Kendrick Lamar rivalry, where he often found himself entangled in the drama, whether by choice or circumstance. One notable incident was Kanye allegedly leaking Drake's home address on Instagram, a move that could be seen as provocative in the world of rap beefs. Drake's response, in contrast, was to brush it off casually, demonstrating a classic Drake tactic of nonchalance in the face of controversy. Kanye continued to escalate tensions by producing Pusha T's diss track Infrared, which directly confronted Drake for using ghostwriters, a practice frowned upon in the hip-hop community. This move not only sparked a fiery exchange of diss tracks between Pusha T and Drake, but also kept Kanye at the center of the feud, shaping the narrative and dynamics of the ongoing conflict. Further adding fuel to the fire, Kanye released Life of the Party during the Donda era, taking direct shots at Drake and others perceived to be crossing his path. Despite not making the final album cut, the song stirred controversy and contributed to the ongoing saga between the two artists. Kanye's motivations in this feud appear multifaceted. beyond musical rivalry, he seems driven by a desire for respect and validation in the hip-hop community, willing to provoke and stir controversy to maintain his prominence. His actions, while divisive, ensure he remains a central figure in the ongoing discourse of rap beefs and industry dynamics. As long as there's drama to be had, Kanye West is likely to be right in the thick of it, using his platform and influence to shape conversations and assert his place in the competitive world of hip-hop.
What are your thoughts on the lawsuit?
Next question.
I just gotta ask, yeah.
Next question, cuz. You know, on the West, we hold court in the streets, cuz.
Did Snoop Dogg drag Drake over his beef with UMG Records? Here's what happened. Okay, so we all know Snoop has been going around promoting his album, right? I mean, his upcoming album, Missionary, is actually produced by Dr. Dre, yes, the same Dre behind The Chronic in 2001. So you already know it's about to be iconic. However, Snoop is making headlines not just because of his upcoming drop. This happened after he allegedly made comments regarding Drake's mess with UMG.
Snoop didn't want to answer the question. He's like, yo, next question. But he's like, nah, answer it. So he said, on the West Coast, we hold court in the streets.
Like, Snoop's been hitting all the right spots with his press run lately, but it's what happened outside the music talk that really stole the show. In an interview, Kev brought up the legal drama between Drake and UMG, and y'all know how sensitive this whole topic has been in the industry. Initially, Snoop hit him with a classic no comment and asked the host to proceed with the next question. I mean, typical Snoop, right? But then he kind of leaned into it and boom, he dropped this gem. Snoop basically said, forget the lawyers, handle it in the streets. Okay, he didn't exactly say those words, but based on what he did say, fans believe he was hinting at something similar. Now, I don't know about y'all, but that's big West Coast energy right there. He kept it short, but the message, clear as day. It's funny though, Snoop's all about that street code, but let's be real, not everybody's built like that. Drake's out here lawyering up, suing Universal Music Group over some alleged shady dealings with his catalog, and y'all already know how Drake's celebrity friends reacted. Luckily, some had his back, while others were just watching the drama unfold with that pass the popcorn kind of energy.
Drake is taking legal action regarding the Kendrick Lamar beef, and I got my hands on the petition that his attorneys filed in Manhattan court today, and it is juicy, so let's get into it.
Of course, 50 Cent made sure to join the chat saying, I've never seen a rap battle end up in court. Let's not forget how Punch also shared his 2 cents about the matter, saying, nah, the rap streets is done. SMH Mustard, who produced K-Dot's blockbuster single as well as Hey Now and TV Off from his most recent album GNX, responded with, OMG, LMFAO. Meanwhile, Rhapsody tried to join the conversation but decided to delete her post. However, fans were quick enough to capture everything. Better luck next time. In the post, she wrote, legal action over losing a rap beef? My, not like us at all. Culture over everything. But let's slide into the part everyone's been buzzing about. Snoop's convo about Kendrick Lamar. Yup, Snoop and K-Dot have been talking, y'all. Now, if you've been keeping up, you probably caught Kendrick's opening track on GNX, Waxed Out Murals. In it, Kendrick called out one of his OG mentors for, well, let's just say, dropping the ball. People started speculating, was he talking about Snoop? But here's where it gets wild. Snoop actually reposted Drake's AI-generated tailor-made freestyle to Instagram, right in the middle of Kendrick and Drizzy's ongoing feud. I mean, come on, y'all. Snoop blamed it on the edibles. Classic Uncle Snoop move. But you gotta respect that he was quick to apologize, calling Kendrick the West King on X right after. In the interview, Snoop kept it real about why he didn't get defensive. He said, he's a rapper. He's supposed to speak his mind and tell his truth. And as Kendrick's OG, Snoop said he had to respect where it was coming from. He even called himself Kendrick's big homebody, which, y'all, how can you not love Snoop for that? Now, fans are saying that Snoop might be trying to back up K-Dot on this one, but what do you guys think? Let us know in the comments below and make sure to stay tuned for more.